Hey kids, this deck has an expiration date. I'm mostly just showing it off because I know that eventually it's not going to be a valid option anymore because of the new Rika cards that are coming out in Legacy of Destruction. This is the current build of Ogdo Attic that I've settled on. It's Adventure Ogdo with an emphasis on 4-axis gameplay. It's the build of Ogdo that I think is the best right now. It's just got higher individual card quality than the reptile locking link pile that's the most common right now. It's better than 8-axis, I feel, because it just has access to a much greater grind game, even if the extenders that we have to work with are a little bit worse. And I think that it's just the one that is the most well-equipped to handle the metagame and to handle interaction because of the adventure stuff. You know, it's strange. People dropped the adventure cards, like, basically as soon as Power of the Elements came out. Well, really, it was closer to Darkwing Blast's release. But like, these cards are still very, very powerful. They're still very good at breaking boards. And there's a lot of really, really good discard fodder in the adventure engine that Ogdo Attic very much appreciates. You really haven't lived until you've gone for Snake Rain, pitching an Enchantress. Anyway, let's hop into the games. For our first game, we'll be going up against Branded with Blue Eyes cards. Because I don't know. Anyway, we are going first. We're going to start things off with Rite of Aramasir to summon the adventure token and place Fateful. Then we're going to go for Fateful to search a monster, which will eat Nash. Nunu is going to mill Zoha, and Zoha is going to pitch Aaron to add itself back. Then Zoha is going to trigger the Fateful Adventure to search Draco back. We'll special summon our copy of Nunu and go for King of the Fairlamps, which eats an Imperm. No big deal, we drew the search target, so we'll go for Noya, milling Curse, and then summon out the Curse and give them a copy of Ash Blossom. This means that we don't have to worry about them having Imperm or evenly. Noya comes out and searches out a Water Lily, which we can activate, summoning back Zoha and milling Night Sword Serpent, which is going to trigger to summon itself. We'll summon Aaron, triggering the Zoha. I search and pitch a copy of Aaron, and they will draw into Dictator of D and pitch Ash. Then Aaron is going to forcefully take the Dictator out. We'll go for Gagagigo Magician to summon back King of the Fairlamps, and now we can go for F0. If the King of the Fairlamps, by the way, didn't get impermed earlier in this turn, this would be a Draco Berserker. Or Dragite, either or. Probably Dragite, honestly, knowing that they're on, like, Blue Eyes stuff, because realistically, what the fuck am I worried about coming out of a Blue Eyes monster? Anyway, they're going to start things off with Branded Fusion. And, nice try, Bozo. Nice Fenrir. Nice Fenrir. Anyway, they're going to summon Albion for no effect, trying to play around the F0, but they forgot it has battle protection. We're going to steal the copy of Libellion, and they're going to quit out. For our next game, we're up against Bestial, Yubel, Dark Magician, main decking Kaijus, 54 cards. They're on ritual cards. They're playing the Altergeist package. So, like, wait, why is Collapse Serpent here? Is Wyvern Burster here at least? Wait, Horus cards are in here too? What? Huh? Wait, no. Hold on. You said he's not here. They're just unhappy. What is... Wait. What the fuck is happening? What is going on? What do they know that I don't? Anyway, we're going to start off with Snake Rain, pitching Enchantress, mill 4. Night Sword Serpent triggers, and then we're going to go for Enchantress to add Rite of Aramasir, which we will activate to summon a token and place Fateful. Fateful is going to add Griffin Rider and then pitch Zoha. Then we're going to summon a Griffin Rider, and now we're home free. Adventure is going to go grab Draco back, and then we're going to pitch a Nuyu for a Zoha. Now we can make Strenna, and by tributing off the Strenna for Curse, we can go ahead and chain block it, summoning out our copy of Hyperiton and Noya. Noya is going to go grab a copy of Serpent Strike, and then Serpent Strike is going to allow Hyperiton to equip a spell card. We're going to pitch Curse to summon Zoha, and then summon out our copy of Nunu. Overlay for King of the Fairlamps, and search a copy of Coatl, which we will summon, and then we'll activate Aaron to go ahead and summon itself, triggering the Zoha to proc a hand rip out of the Aaron. We'll take the Baldrake, and I know this looks sketchy with the Quaddle just chilling there doing nothing, but this was a hedge, okay? This was a tactical play. This was a hedge. The goal behind this play, the logic behind the play, it was very simple. My opponent had something. I didn't know what. It was a Baldrake. If they had used any hand trap that I cared about, and I had to burn my Griffin Rider, I needed some way to convert the token into something of value, so that way Evenly Match doesn't completely ruin me. Quaddle provides that. I had to summon it early, unfortunately, because summoning Aaron removed both my Dark Reptiles, so I had to summon the Quaddle early. But if they had burned the Griffin Rider, I would have very easily been able to just make a Synchro 8 and been completely in the clear. But because they didn't do anything, and Griffin Rider stays on the field, this Quaddle just sits there looking stupid. But trust me, it was a hedge. It was very smart. I'm very intelligent. Trust me on that. Anyhow, they're going to go ahead and Kaiju Hyperiton, then fire off Nightmare Throne, adding Samsara Regenerating Lotus, which procs a hand rip to take out Palladium Oracle mana. I'm going to go ahead and negate Samsara Regenerating Lotus because I know that Yubel doesn't really have great extension past that, and the 1-for-1 pitching Spirit for Meluseek. This is going to proc Serpent Strike to mill a Quaddle, and then they'll get in for 500 direct, and remove Fateful Adventure from the field. In main 2, they'll go for Artemis, triggering the Meluseek for Molwist, then summoning the Meluseek, and then summoning back the Molwist summons back Meluseek. These cards, they're tongue twisters for me. Anyways, they are threatening Herald, so I'm going to go ahead and Nibiru the field, and now we got to deal with the token, but that's not a big deal at all. We're going to pitch the Nunu for Zoha, and then pitch the Zoha for Serpent Strike to summon back Curse. That summons back a copy of Naya, which allows me to add from my deck to hand Water Lily. Water Lily mills a random reptile and then summons Zoha. Then we'll summon back Nunu, and get ready for the fucking technology. In comes Gagagigo the Risen, gets equipped with Dracoback, bounce the token. Oh my god, is he the world's premier brain genius? So, Gagagigo is another weird tech. It's a really stupid optimization, but trust me when I say this is one of the best cards in the deck, which some would say is a very bad thing, but this is the dedicated Typhon out. The reason why this is the Typhon out over any other rank 4 that can deal with a Typhon, something like Light Dragon adding Nister, something like, I don't know, Castel, anything that has more utility, is because Gagagigo the Risen provides just absurd roll compression. Obviously, it has 50 more attack points than Typhon, so it can punch over it. It takes 3 materials, so it makes a 4-mat Zeus, as you can see right here. It's a reptile, so you can summon it under Nunu's lock, making it trivially easy to get the materials on field for. And to top all of that off, it's also a water, so that means that it has value through Serpent Strike and Dragite, allowing it to serve a lot of purposes. And it's a vanilla, so Dracoback can bounce while equipped to it. Because oftentimes I'll find myself just not really wanting to put the Dracoback on the token. I'll just have better discards because I'm playing Octoadic. All my cards want to be in the graveyard. I can just put them in there. There are days where I consider cutting Dracoback, but it's just such good removal that I just can't. Anywho, we're going to make Zeus and then tribute off for Aaron. And Zeus Aaron is pretty good against a top-decking Dark Magician player. They'll go for Magician's Rod and add a copy of Soul Servant. Obviously, I don't activate Aaron because, well, they can just chain Soul Servant. They'll activate Soul Servant to stack Mahad, and then go for Soul Servant, drawing 2. Activate the Mahad, we activate Aaron, and ooh, American Sniper, that's a concession. And for our last game, we'll be going first against Crystal Beast. Look, I know, these are not great replays. They're not really against meta decks or meta-adjacent decks or anything of that sort, but, like, look, alright? I tried. Grinding EDO Pro for replays is soul-crushing, okay? Just cut me some slack here. We've drawn 2 bricks, okay? I'm just showing you how to navigate the hand. Anywho, we're going to go from Nunu. That would eat Nash, but we drew Called By because we're goated. In retrospect, we could have very easily played around this by leading with Fateful Adventure, adding Griffin Rider, pitching Enchantress, using Enchantress to grab a Rite of Aramesir, and then that would get me to that before I start using Nunu, because I still have a good discard in the form of Curse, right? But I just, legitimately, I did not recognize that this was Faithful Adventure until it was too late. Anyhow, so we're going to mill Zoha. Zoha pitches Enchantress, and that will go for Enchantress to add Aramesir. Activate Fateful. Fateful grabs and then pitches a copy of Curse. We'll summon the token, and then go ahead and summon the Griffin Rider and the copy of Dracoback. Normal to Zoha. Summon out our copy of Nunu. Go for King of the Fairlimps. King is going to search a copy of Noya. Noya mills Aaron. Curse trades out the King for itself and then summons back Noya, and Noya is going to go grab Water Lily. We're going to go ahead and... This is awkward. What I could have done was just gone for the safer play and grabbed Serpent Strike instead of Water Lily, but I decided that I really wanted to go for Aaron before I committed to Zoha's... Before I committed to, like, the Reborn effect, so that way I could get the hand rip before I committed to any particular rank 4 line. Because one of the best parts of this deck is that it's super flexible. You can get a lot of information before you commit to your final end board in hands like this, where you can get to Aaron early. So because of that, you can flex between... You can just kind of pivot to whichever rank 4 or Synchro 8 play you need to really just hose people. You know, if your opponent is playing a deck that doesn't like dealing with monster negates, Draco features to play. If they're playing something that needs their graveyard, like Fire King, Abyss Dweller, if they struggle with like a Banish, Draco Berserker, you know, like you could just pivot. And this is what I did here. We're gonna Water Lily for Night Sword Serpent and Zoha, chain blocking the Zoha, by the way, to summon the Night Sword Serpent, add Noya and pitch it. We see an Amethyst Cat and the copy of Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, so I decide my rank 4 of choice is going to be Tornado Dragon here. This is mostly in here to deal with stuff like, say, Labyrinth, Labyrinth using furniture to set back row, but it has and also for Fire King Sanctuary, but it also has a lot of utility in situations like this, because I know for a fact that the Crystal Beast monsters suck ass, but the Crystal Beast spells and traps are broken, and I know that the good ones are the ones that need to stick to the field. They're going to go for Rainbow Bridge for Crystal Bond, proccing the Aaron, ripping a Golden Rule, and then they're going to go for Crystal Bond, which we will negate with Griffin Rider. Knowing that I know that Crystal Beast is very much a 2-card combo deck. This deck does not have 1 cards. So because of this, I felt comfortable burning the Griffin Rider early on a card that really I wouldn't have if they had led with that. Anyway, they'll go for Golden Rule. That'll lead to Tornado Dragon, and I know that they've lost. They know that they've lost. Just activating Fateful Adventure to grab Griffin Rider, puts Lethal on board. The game's over. And that's the deck. I know, those replays were against coughing babies, but again, it cut me some slack. Some of these that just aren't good players or decks on EDO Pro, okay? The real shame is that I couldn't get any replays showcasing the deck's real strength, which is its literal infinite grind game. Because of Zoha, every dead draw can easily be traded out for a rank 4 or Aaron, and because of Aaron, you shouldn't ever run out of rank 4s, so all that's left from there is to find a source of discards when you do top deck a good card, and Faithful for Enchantress to add back right does the job beautifully. Even though I have a lot of faith in this build of Octomatic, it doesn't really matter, because like I said in the intro, this deck will be invalidated in a few months due to the release of Rika. This video probably should have been scrapped because of that, but deck is a culmination of months of testing and theory crafting, so I'd never forgive myself if I didn't share it with the world. I mean, come on, party enough of a bum. I don't even know how to end video.